Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I will be reviewing The Final Curse of Ophelia Cray by Christine Colella. So this was sent to me by Colored Pages Book Tours, and I made an Instagram post for them as part of the book tour, so thank you so much to Colored Pages Book Tours for sending this my way. So this follows a girl named Ophelia who is a pirate's daughter, and her mother did not raise her. She barely knew her mother at all, nothing like that. But still, everyone on the island she comes from just treats her like it's automatically bad news just because of who her mother was. So she really wants to get off of her island, so she keeps trying to enlist in the Navy, and they won't let her because she's a pirate's daughter. So finally one day she takes her sister's birth certificate and enlists as her sister. But of course, it's not that simple, as it's found out when her father dies soon after she left. Her sister basically goes to try to get her to come home, and she finds out that she enlisted as her, and then she has to find her because once it's found out, of course, they're going to want to arrest her for fraud, basically. So she has to go and find her. She gets captured by pirates, and she is not like her sister at all. She barely is even comfortable leaving the house or anything, but desperation drives her to travel all that way and do all kinds of things and just really use her resources when she ends up going on just this crazy adventure that she would not have wanted to do. So this book was really, really good. I could barely put it down. And so this book was a really good commentary on how basically assuming something bad about someone basically creates it. Because anything that she does that's not good is because people assumed the worst of her. And then also it definitely has a guy in here who basically seems like he's a perfectly good guy and everything, up until Ophelia tells him that she's not into him, and then suddenly he becomes this awful, awful human being. And so that was just really interesting because that really does happen. People really do that sometimes. And so even though I'm sure if you've seen basically any video of mine, you know how much I don't like the surprise villain trope, towards the end of the book where it's I was the bad guy all along or anything, but this was not really a surprise villain. This was a guy not wanting to take no for an answer, so he becomes a jerk. I adored both main characters. I also really like how Ophelia is a really badass main character. She is brutal as heck, but that's not her entire identity. She's actually really complex. I actually did just read another book where the badass main character is just a badass main character, and that's all she is. That's her entire thing. She has absolutely no other personality, and it's such a bummer. But here we have such complex characters who are so well-rounded and so interesting. And I think that that's also really great because so often it's really hard to make the main characters that interesting. Often the main characters of a story wind up being more bland than the rest of the story, but no, this was very character driven while also being very plot driven as well. And so I really, really adored this book. I was so close to giving it 5 stars, so close. The only things that kept me from giving it 5 stars were just a few things that happened that were just a little bit too convenient for me to necessarily give them a pass, but it was so close, and so it was almost the best book that I've read all year. So anyway, if you have not read this yet, please read it. It is so good. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've read this book or have any thoughts on it, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!